Tell me when to start.
Yeah, you can start now. We could
I
whatever.
can? Okay.
Yeah.
Am I looking over here?
Yeah.
But then I have to read over here.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing.
Okay, now we got it going here.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Jim Shore. I am in the midst of one of my favorite activities, and that is doing a signing tour. And as you all know probably, I do it across the U.S. routinely, but I also do it around the world. And right now I am in Europe doing the European signing tour. Presently I am in Leeds at Oulton Hall, which is a baronial home here in the beautiful part of the north of England. And it has been transformed into an absolutely glorious spa and hotel. So we are here, and I've got a collection here of the pieces that we'll be signing on this go around. Already I've signed in Belgium, I've signed in Holland, and I've signed in Germany, and now we are here in England. It's day after tomorrow, I believe, we'll be leaving for Paris, and I'll be doing the signing at the Disney park in Paris. But right now I'm concentrating on what I'm doing here for all of you folks here at Leeds. What I urge you to do is go to jimshore.com, or no, I'm sorry, that's my US site, so scratch that. Go to jimshoredesigns.co.uk between now and Sunday. The items available while in stocks last, and you can purchase any of those items that we show you tonight, and we'll get them out to you ASAP, and trust me, each and every one of them will be signed. They're all grouped together on the signing event page, which you'll see when you go to the website. And please remember that we're shipping worldwide, excluding the United States at this point, and a few other areas, but full details are on the website. And when you go to the website, you'll be able to see the whole thing. And also, duty when shipping to European Union sites is absolutely free. So that's a good thing. So I'm going to be signing a few things here. This is a collection right here of the things that you'll be seeing. So it's exciting to me, and I think it's be exciting to you. And there'll be something here just about for everybody, because we cover a wide variety of subjects, as you'll see. And so a little something for everybody. So I'm going to sign a few pieces, and I think you maybe have a few questions for me.
The pieces, we're going to have a little bit of fun, signing. And we are going to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Disney Traditions by asking Jim 20 questions in 20 minutes. So, first question, what are you looking forward to most when you get home?
Well, I've been away from home for almost a month now, and generally when I come home, the first thing I do is I go immediately to bed. Try to recuperate from the rigors, because I'll tell you, the way these signings are, they are uplifting, and they are some of the high points of what I do. Why? Because while I spend an inordinate amount of time in my studio by myself doing what I do, it is never completely finished. It's never complete until I get the opportunity to come out and spend time with the people that I'm actually doing it for. Mm-hmm. And so these signings are, just something that's absolutely essential to what I do, because it motivates me, it inspires me, and it gives me an opportunity to express my appreciation for everyone who honors me by allowing me to sign my pieces for them.
That is great.
Did that answer the question?
It did. First thing you're going to do,
okay,
go for a nap.
Yes.
Quick fire, this or that, summer or winter?
Pardon me, do that again?
Summer or winter?
Forgive me, my English is a little rusty, okay? Well, Each season has its benefits. With living on the lake as we do, there's a lot of activities that are centered around lake life. But the fall is beautiful because that's when the trees become ablaze in color, and I love that time period. It's a transition between the heat of the summer and the cold of the winter. The winter, however, with the snow and even the somewhat not exactly drab but monochromatic tones of the grays and the delicate blues and so forth that you see in a winter landscape, sometimes punctuated by a brief amount of color, let's say from a cardinal, birds that don't migrate, things that are little pops of color that are harbingers of the next season to come in that spring, and of course that's when everything comes back to life. So in answer to your question, I love each season for different reasons.
Can't pick a favorite.
Pardon me?
You can't pick a favorite.
Yeah, I can't pick a favorite really because it all depends. And there's the good and the bad too. Because while I love winter, I also complain about being cold, and in the summer. No, but family life provides an awful lot of opportunities to enjoy the seasons for what they bring. I think though, maybe if I were to absolutely be tied down to say what is your favorite season, Christmas is always fun, but in the States we have Thanksgiving and we have a lot of activities during the fall, and it's comfortable weather and it's beautiful out, and and we have a lot of things that we do. And so I would say probably maybe as a season, probably fall.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
What is your favorite meal?
My favorite meal, meatloaf.
Great. I haven't had that.
You haven't had meatloaf?
No.
You should come to the States. I have an open door policy. I'm the cook.
Perfect.
And I make an awesome meatloaf.
You're going to have all your fans now coming. Going, where's my meatloaf?
Well, actually, you know what? Periodically, my daughter Robin and I, every other Wednesday, we do a little bit of a Facebook show. A lot of people are familiar with us. In fact, Robin has gained her own popularity and her own following. We were in the Atlanta gift show last year, and Robin was with me. A group of women came in and they pointed over and they said, "Look, there's Jim Shore's daughter." I said, "I'm standing right here." But we do periodically we'll do a cooking show too, and we have done my style of meatloaf, and we've done chili, and we've done jambalaya, and we've done my mother's recipes on cranberry relish and different things like that. So maybe I might revisit that, now that we're talking about it, and and show everybody how to do a good meatloaf and mashed potatoes, I might add.
Perfect.
But that's my favorite.
What's your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure?
Yeah.
Dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate. I tell everybody I take it for medicinal purposes. Because I've heard it's good for you. So that's the excuse. But yeah, I love dark chocolate.
Now I know we've discussed this a little bit between us, but what souvenirs or food are you taking home from Europe for the family?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Ooh, we know chocolate.
No, actually, I've been to Belgium, and I've been to Holland, and I've been to these other places that have the candy, the treats and stuff like that are just so good, and I must even say maybe even better than we do it in the States.
Yeah.
So you can't leave Belgium, for example, without taking some chocolate with you. And so people during the signings have been kind enough to give me some little treats here and there, to take with me and to share with the family. And I look forward to that. But that's mainly the way it is. However, I've been given. I did a signing in Holland at Haddon Hall, and they were kind enough to give me a Dresden plate. No, not Dresden plate. Delft plate.
Yes.
Which is a staple of Holland, and these are antique plates that they've given us in showing appreciation for us coming all the way to do the signing. So it's little things like that. I've gained actually a small collection of things that people have, given me, because I don't take it lightly. I so appreciate that, because I try my best to do nice things for people, and when people do nice things for me, it touches my heart, and so that's what I do.
Good. Are you a country boy or a city boy?
Primarily country. I was raised in the country, and I worked when I was growing up. I picked cotton and I picked peaches, and I worked a dairy and different things like that. So, and we have a small farm, several hundred acres down there in South Carolina. In fact, my studio is located on one of our farms, and so I enjoy that.
What's your favorite pet?
My favorite pet?
Yes.
I'm kind of a dog person, dogs are, dogs become part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
They have personality and everything. Although one time, one of our dogs, who used to love to bring us presents, he would bring us squirrels or rabbits or moles and one time he brought home a kitten that he had found.
Oh,
somebody had
goodness.
put a kitten out, the way they do. This kitten still had its eyes closed. It hadn't been weaned even, okay? And he was playing with it out in the yard, a little fluff ball, And I said, hey, that's an animal he's got there, So I took it away from him, and I spent weeks around the clock nursing this kitten, to try to, I wanted it to survive,
Mm-hmm.
And I would twist up a paper towel and dip it in milk and like that. And my wife, Jan, she said, at the end of this, you're either going to love cats or you're going to hate cats, But that cat was with us for many, many years, and I must say, I loved that cat. But the cat actually was never around other cats. I firmly believe it thought it was a dog, because that's the way it acted. But that was a great cat. So I'm a dog person, but I love cats too.
Good. What's like the most heartwarming moment that you've had either on this tour or maybe one that stood out from previous tours?
On this tour, we had a young couple, and to the surprise of the young lady, her fiance proposed there in front of me during the signing, and used one of our pieces that was the Mickey and Minnie, with the ring thing, as a, as sort of a central point of that thing. And it was just so, everybody around me, including myself, teared up, just watching, the emotion of it. It was really a sweet moment, so I enjoyed it. And what I did, I took the piece beforehand and I wrote in calligraphy his name and her name, so that will be forever a memento.
Yeah.
It'll be part of their history and part of their tradition, and I really like that.
Now I know you're obviously a man of many talents. You do all of these. You and Jan wrote the book on quilting, as we discussed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Painting, everything else. But is there any other hobby that you would like to take up next?
Well, there's anything that has to do with creativity, I enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
I make custom knives using exotic materials and so forth. I enjoy doing that. I make furniture. I remodel kitchens and different rooms in some of our houses in my workshop. I'm constantly busy. Okay, people tell me, they say, Jim, relax. You need to come on, back off a little bit. Don't work so hard and everything. And I've tried that. But when I try to relax, the only thing I do is I sit there thinking about all the stuff that I need to be doing, so I don't relax very well. I personally think that that's what what's what keeps me going. You know, what keeps me motivated and everything is just the fact that I have these various interests, and I just am constantly doing something. You know, something. And when you're creative, and I don't care what skill level. Okay, I'm at a fairly high skill level because that's just down. But I mean, a lot of people just love doing things. You know, they love painting, or they love, you know, sculpting, or they love quilting, or doing any number of things that are, you know, that require, you know, to the time spent doing something by hand, and it's rewarding and it's refreshing, and it keeps you. I think it keeps you young. At least that's what I try to convince myself.
Is there anything on your Christmas list this year? We can maybe drop hints to Jan after this. We could send her the video and be like, Jim would like this for Christmas, please.
Actually, you know, no, there isn't really. I know that's a disappointing answer, but I've been blessed so much with such a rich life, you know. I mean, and by rich, I mean we have a beautiful family. We have all the things that you know, that money can't buy, you know. And I am richly rewarded in that regard. And what I love to do during the Christmas season, or even, you know, any of the seasons like that, is I like to see the joy that's brought by, you know, by gift giving to others. You know, I like to see, you know, it makes me happy when the rest of the family or our friends are happy, you know. So that's kind of what motivates me. I don't ask for very much. In fact, when people do things for me, it really is. I find it very heartwarming because you know, it particularly if they make something. We just talked about creativity. If somebody takes the time to make something by hand for me, and once again, I don't care what skill level is, it's so much more valuable to me than anything they could take off the shelf, you know.
Do you have a dream dinner guest? Could be anybody dead or alive.
Oh, man, that's kind of a tough question, you know, because there's a lot to choose from, and of course there's the religious aspect, there's the family aspect, and so forth. I'll leave that aside. I would like to spend time with Walt Disney. You know?
Yeah.
He was such an absolutely magnificent, you know, force of creativity and our industry as we know it today. And of course, you know, I've spent many hours doing the things that and it was the genesis of so much of what I do came out of his creativity and his mind and that sort of thing. And I think about that periodically, about how magnificent and what a brilliant thinker he was, not just to come up with these characters the way it was, or to come up with his version of these various stories and so forth, but what he's done with Disneyland and Disney World and the kind of impact that he's had, you know, all over the place, you know. Yeah, he would be somebody really interesting to sit down and have a conversation with.
If you were stuck on an island by yourself, what would the 3 things you would want to have with you?
Well, let's see.
Getting you thinking. Different questions.
The 3 things I would want.
Yeah.
I would want, well, this could be a funny answer, okay?
Okay.
I won't make it funny. Because you know how serious I can be.
Very serious.
I would probably want, you know, things that centered around survival, you know. That would be primarily a fire starter, a pot to boil water in, and something sharp. With those 3 things, I believe I could survive. Yeah.
Good. Do you have a favorite song at the moment? Something that we should add to our playlists?
A favorite song?
Yes.
Yes. I like the blues. My favorite blues performer is Joe Bonamassa, who is absolutely the Michelangelo of the blues guitar. He is spectacular. He performs periodically with a singer named Beth Hart. And she is very flamboyant, but she sings the blues like syrup. I mean, like warm syrup. And I just love listening to them. And they do a lot of old Etta James songs, you know. And she does I'd Rather Be Blind is one of my absolute favorite songs. The way she sings it, and then the way he interprets it musically with the guitar. It's awesome.
If you could have any superpower, what would you want to have?
Invisibility.
If you weren't an artist, what would you be doing as a career?
I'd be a carpenter. I love that kind of work.
Yeah.
And I know an awful lot about it, for one thing. And I actually do a lot of that, and not just construction style because of the projects that we've taken on, but finish carpentry, and that is the detailing, you know. And in fact, I've done a lot of not just buying stuff off the shelf, but creating, you know, through carvings and that sort of castings and that kind of thing, you know, making custom stuff that ends up looking pretty smooth, you know, as far as finish work is concerned. And my workshop is very highly equipped to do that kind of stuff. And I do it, you know, when we bought our house on the lake, we gutted the house. And then I set about to completely redo virtually everything in the house, the kitchen and, you know, all that. So, and it turned out pretty good. But I enjoy that kind of work, and I'm pretty good at it. So if I wasn't doing artwork, I would be doing that.
4 questions left. What is the one thing that you never travel without?
The one thing I never travel without. Well, let's see. That actually is a tough question because, you know, I mean, obviously when you're traveling, if you're traveling internationally, naturally the one thing you don't leave behind is your passport.
Yes.
You know? That's a must. You know, and because I've been it wasn't the last time, but it was, I think, 2 visits ago. I had gone through customs and through immigrations and all that sort of thing. Got into the country, you know, and then realized that my passport had expired.
Yes, I do remember.
And nobody got it, you know.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. But yeah, that's probably it. But you know, I mean, obviously, you know, when if you're accustomed to traveling, there's a routine you go through, and you know, to keep yourself, you know, looking good and smelling good, and you know, clean, and you know,
at your best
as much as you can. You know? Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Halloween film? Because I know that we've discussed we like scary things, and so is there something that you have to watch at Halloween?
Well, there's several that I like, but and there's some scary ones that I like that, you know, that are like scary. But one of the ones that I like that it's sort of along that vein, and it's a little bit more whimsical than scary, and that is Beetlejuice. Okay, I won't say it 3 times. Okay?
No,
but that is one. Actually, that is one of our co-brands. You know, we do a version, and I've done that several different personality poses and vignettes and so forth around that thing. And I didn't do that because that's one of my favorite movies. But in doing it, you know, it's one of those projects that I really, really appreciated doing and really got into because of the fact that the that the movie and everything and the books, you know, about Betelgeuse, you know, which is the pronunciation. It's just a great movie. It's a little scary, a little whimsical. Kind of makes me happy, you know. Yeah, and I like that, and the kids love it too.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you're going to be looking forward to this, but what does a day of rest look like for Jim Shaw?
Actually, I don't really do much resting, you know. If I'm not working on something, it's because I'm spending time with the family, or you know, something like that. You know, so I mean, even if I'm at home cooking, you know, I'm staying active. I get up very early. I fix a cup of coffee, American style.
Yes.
Although I must say, lately I've gotten some really good coffee here, you know.
Good.
So I've been very satisfied with that. But yeah, I get up, that starts my day. And then depending on what, I mean, I have an awful lot of this, you know, the sculpting and the design work and all this kind of stuff, you know, that revolves around what I do, you know. And I always have a painting or two in the works, so that if I'm not working on something like this, I'm working on something like that. Either it's a portrait or a landscape or, you know, whatever, any number of things like that. I always have something going on in the shop. It's whether I'm, you know, making something for the family, you know. I'm making built-ins for my daughters right now, so I'll get in that when I get back home.
Yeah.
So you know, so as far as resting is concerned, if I'm not working hard, like some of the construction work I do is physically, you know, demanding and that kind of stuff. But you know, the painting and the design work and that kind of stuff, it's not hard work; it's rewarding work. But it keeps me energized as much as sitting around doing nothing would, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, we've got one last question for you.
Is this the big one?
This is the big one. So I'm sure this is one that a lot of people want to know, but we've got a variety of your collections here. So of course, we've got Hartwood Creek, which is, you know, your original, your baby. We've got the Disney Traditions, where we've been celebrating the 20th anniversary this year. We've got Peanuts and we've got Grinch. What's next? What would you like to do next? Are you allowed to say? Are you allowed to hint? Or are you going to just keep quiet?
Well, I should keep quiet, probably. There are some themes that I would like to, you know, work with, and some of them we're in the process of negotiating. And I think that once we, you know, if it turns out the way we want them to, everybody I think will be happy. One of them, I'll just say that right, because I'm not sure whether I'm actually one of the ones that I really want to do, and that we're sort of working around the edges to get permission to do it, is, you know, I do the deluxe princess collection, and it has been, I think, one of my favorite collections because of the size and the, you know, of it. It's a larger size. You put them together and all the princesses, and it's really a magnificent collection, you know, visually, because there's a lot of motion in it, and it's all, you know, it's got gemstones in it and glitter and metallics and that sort of thing. So it's a beautiful line, and it's all the princesses. And I haven't quite finished them all. I just finished Pocahontas, and I'll be working on Moana. But I want to do Merida.
That would be amazing.
She's one of my favorite characters, and you know, I just love her attitude. I just love everything about it, and I love that time period for creating a motif that would be sort of that medieval, you know, time period. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I did the personality pose some time ago, but we have got to work with Pixar to get to do it. So that's what I'm really hoping for. There's a couple other things, but that right now, that's the main one that I really truly want to do.
That sounds great.
Okay.
There's your 20 questions with Jim Shaw.
Well, thank you very much. I hope everybody enjoyed that.
I'm sure they did.
I'm sure.
It would be great. So thank you very much.
Thank you for not asking me any trick questions.
No trick questions, promise.
But once again, everybody, go to jimshoredesigns.co.uk Did I get that right?
Perfect.
Good. Anyway, go there and you'll see all the information that we've been recounting about the event that we're in the midst of. I think you'll be happy with the results. Go ahead and pick out something. You'll get it and it'll be signed. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye.